Hey guys, how you doing? It's Drew here, and I've got some news. This is probably the best news that we've gotten since the start of the audit on knowing, I don't want to say knowing, exactly what's going on and how much longer we have and all that kind of stuff. But this news here that I just shared in the English updates channel that I've made here, guys, you need to read over this, okay? And this all links to what was said a couple weeks ago there on November 16th there. So basically just 12 days ago. Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, basically. This was said here that, and this also links back to the last VADM webinar that was about a month ago from today, because it was the end of last month, right? Or the start of this month or something like that he did the webinar. And right now is the end of November here. It's the 28th. So in the webinar, Vadim said his next move, what he was going to do if he wasn't getting, you know, any more kind of, hey, the audit's almost done or something like that information. Oh, wait a minute. I think my family's home. Just give me a second. But yeah, anyways, guys, the webinar he did about a month ago, he said what he was going to do was if the auditors weren't going to give him the information of like basically a timeline type thing or something along that lines, he was going to go and try and work with the broker to release release the freeze on the funds, which if that happens, guys, the release on the funds, it means like who cares about the audit? The audit's just something that's going to be in the background, because we'd have access to our SWCT, right? So every withdrawal that I'm doing in SWCT, meaning we'd have access to it, as in we could go to S Wallet and exchange it for Bitcoin or USDT, or in my case, I exchange it for Ethereum, right? So, and then on the, what was it, did I say? The 16th here, so a couple weeks after that webinar, we got this update in, I think it was in the 10.5% or the 13% group, just saying that Vadim has arrived at the place where the important meeting is scheduled. And that was it. Like, it didn't say like, hey, this is the meeting with the broker about the release, the freeze of the funds. He didn't say anything about this is a meeting to finalize the audit or anything like that. He just said important scheduled meeting. So, as I said down here, I wonder what this meeting is. And then I put up here like what he had mentioned in the webinar, and that's probably what the meeting is. And then we got another update today, guys. So I highly recommend you join this S Group English Updates channel, guys. Even, when this audit is out of the way and it's a thing of the past and stuff like that, there's probably going to be other stuff. So this group here does a lot of good for people, guys, because everything that I see or everything that, I study and I look into and stuff, I put it in this group, and it's really helping a lot of people like have a clearer mind and, kind of know where things are going here, right? Okay, so this last update that Sergi just put out minutes ago, basically, was an update about the audit, which was what I was just talking about there. Vadim had a meeting, and this update here basically confirms what that meeting is about. And the solution in the he says here the solution in the progress with the broker there. So they're going to move forward with this of working with the broker to release the freeze. And what they mean by that is taking the information which they have so far is that this audit's been going on for we're going on 5 months now. In December, it'd be 5 months for this audit. And going off that information, like nothing's been found about them supporting war efforts in Ukraine in the last 5 months. And obviously, by reading this here, it sounds like the broker has agreed, like, okay, we'll work with you on releasing the lock on the funds here. Okay, so the next information I would want to hear is like, what is this unfreezing going to be like? Like, are we unfreezing our profits that we've made so far that are sitting in S Wallet or something like that, or are we will the release be of funds that we're making like from here on out when this release happens, or that type of stuff, right? So I think that's what we'll hear in the next webinar from Vadim. So that's the other news here, guys. If you're on my team, I've mentioned in our EN chat group there that I asked in the 15% group about, I don't know, probably 4 days ago for another VADM webinar for December. And then in the 15% group after I asked, we had like 2 or 3 other members that are 15% ask as well. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's have another webinar. I think the members need it, that type of thing. So there is, it's not scheduled yet, guys, but it's coming up. And there will be a broadcast a little bit later, he says here. So broadcast basically means the VADM webinar. And yeah, so come in this group here, guys, read this so you know what's going on. And I basically went over it in this video, but all this goes together. The last webinar, that update he put out on the 16th, and then today's update here. And you can kind of, you get an idea for what the company's doing, okay? So to me, it sounds like they're going to release the freeze on the broker account even before the audit's done, because it's the broker's decision to freeze the funds, guys. It's not S groups, it's not the auditors, it's the broker. So the auditor, I guess, has an easier time and stuff like that going through the transactions and that type of thing. But I guess the broker has agreed to this because it has been so many months. And I'll talk about something that's unofficial news, guys, which is my findings, which is that this audit in the country that is auditing S Group here, guys, the information that I found out online for that country is the audit can last 150 days. It's a forensic audit type, so it can last 150 days. But in S Group's case, S Group's situation, guys, they're trying to prove something, right? So if it is 150 days, this kind of lines up with this, that they might take that information to the broker and say, like, listen, yeah, it's been 150 days. This country here, by law, they can do an audit for 150 days, and then, it's an option to end it or not type thing. If the company wants to prove something, then, of course, the audit would move forward. And in S Group's case, guys, I did a whole video on this, that if the audit does go past 150 days, they would want to finish it, because what they're trying to prove is that they don't support war efforts in Ukraine, and then they could take legal action against the people who are, saying you're supporting war efforts in Ukraine and writing bad things about them online and stuff like that. Big blog companies in Russia there, right, or Ukraine, right? So, yeah, guys, I just think going forward with all that and knowing this information that just came out, it's, as I said at the start of the video, I think it's the best news that we've had since the start of this audit, because it definitely says, like, we are coming to the end of it, right? I couldn't say that any time before this because no one knows when the end is, but this is basically the first message that I've seen that kind of identifies like an end to the audit. From what I can see here, guys, we still can't say when the end is going to be. I shouldn't even say end of audit, guys. The audit's definitely, they're going to finish the audit, right? They're going to keep on doing it till the end of it. But the, unfreezing of the funds in the broker, unblocking actually is the wording that he's using here in the translator. I think they use freezing though in Russian. But yeah, guys, that is the best news that I've seen in the last 5 months of this, is that basically, it symbolizes that this is coming to an end, right? And we don't know, it could be weeks, guys. It could be into the new year. That's kind of my feelings on it, is that this is going to happen into the new year. But that was before I saw this news. This news now, it kind of sounds like the next webinar, we're going to get information that will either be like, this is exactly what we're doing, and this week or date even, we'll be able to exchange our SWCT inside S Wallet type thing. Like, I think that might be the information that we see at the next webinar. If it isn't, then, we're going to get some kind of information, right? Because the whole purpose of doing a webinar, and he says he's going to do a webinar here, guys, broadcast. That's what it means, webinar, right? So we will get some information, that we want to hear. It's going to be better than what we heard at the last webinar. And I really, really hope that we're going to get the information, guys, of an exact, this is happening, and we're releasing the freeze, and everything will be, for most people, everything's going to be back to normal kind of thing there. But think about this as well, guys. Who knows what that is, right? Is it a release of the funds that's already been made? Basically the stuff that's sitting in your S wallet, if you've been doing what I'm doing. Or is it a release of the profits that were being made, right, from that date on? Or is it a release of the profits of, say, 30% or 20%, or we don't know. So the next webinar, guys, I hope that those questions get cleared up. And sorry guys, my voice is just, I know it sounds like my microphone's all messed up, but it's actually my voice. I've totally lost my voice, and I'm getting over a cold here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And please, if I see the question, when's the audit done? Or what's going on? I don't understand in the comments below, guys. Don't ask that. Well, please just watch the videos. If your first language isn't English and you're having a hard time here, go message your sponsor, message your upline. And if your upline, like it even says it in here, guys, like it's the sponsor's job to update you guys. It's not some, like myself, random guy on YouTube, right? Don't listen to what I have to say unless you're on my team, kind of thing. Because if I'm not your sponsor, like who cares? Get the information from your sponsor. It's basically what they're saying here, okay? And here's something I want to say about this, because I know a lot of people that watch my videos, your sponsors are inactive with you. They've given up on, through this audit. They're doing something else. They're below 10.5% or whatever, and they just, they have shiny syndrome and they go promote something else during this time, and it feels like they don't care about you and stuff like that, guys. If that's the case, message that person, tell them I understand or whatever, you're doing something else. I don't really care about that. I just want some kind of contact through this. And it's their job, their responsibility to give you their upline's contact. And eventually, if you just keep on doing that, guys, eventually you'll come to someone that is in, your upline that's in the 15% group here. And I'm telling you right now, like everyone in this 15% group, guys, they're all online millionaires, right? They've made about $1 million through S Group, right? So they're going to help you out. If they don't help you out, it makes them look bad, okay? Like anyone that's below me, I don't care if they're 10 levels below me, they have the availability to message me and ask me questions one-on-one. Like that's my job, right? So do that, guys. Go to your sponsor. If your sponsor's not willing to support you or is like, I don't know what's going on because they don't follow updates or they just don't bother to do anything, then ask for that sponsor, the one up, right? Can I have that person's contact, right? They give you that person's contact. If that person's in the same situation, like as I said, I have people that are like 10 levels below me, right? So who knows how far you got to go up until you hit that person that's 15% or above. And that person, guys, guaranteed they have to help you. They understand network marketing. They understand that the position, the situation they're in is because of like you, even though you might be 10 levels below, okay? It's their job, okay? So just do that, guys, do that. It's really gonna help you out with everything, okay? So that's it from me, guys. Get in this group, follow these updates here. You can see there's a bunch of people in here now. There's almost 300 people. 285 people in here. There's 28 people online. That's pretty damn good. And yeah, follow the updates there. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's been long enough, 26 minutes. Holy jeez. See you guys. Bye-bye.